Hello everyone, welcome to another Walkie Talkie. We are dashing out in a break in the weather. Yesterday it was just too icy here. I wasn't going to risk it for a biscuit, and also had my telephone appointment with the doc, and it was a bit late in getting to the phone, so just weighing up everything I decided we'll take a break. So I've come out today. It's not icy because it's been raining and the wind's been up, so we do have wind. The rain is easing off at the moment, so that's all right, but the thing is, we've got a storm coming in later this week, so God alone knows what that brings. If it's just high wind and a bit of rain, I might be able to sneak out, but if it's, even if it's snow, I'm all right with the snow. It's the ice that's the thing. I don't have spikes for these boots, and I don't particularly fancy doing my impression of what was that, Blades of Steel. That was that film on it with that bloody nutcase Will Ferrell in it. Is it Will Ferrell? Blades of Steel? I think it is. Anyway, I don't fancy doing an impression and going as slip-slidey all over the place. I mean, it would be great comedy value, but I like my legs attached to my body, and I like them facing the right way. So yeah, but today it's all right. It's a nice free zone. Hey up, the water's sneaking back. Be gone, water. So yeah, been yesterday recorded another episode of the Post About Ghost podcast. Hopefully that'll be up either today or tomorrow. So if you're interested in that type of thing, check it out. We're talking about the historical ghost stories type thing. So yeah, if you fancy it, give us a listen. And yeah, one sec. Okay, just checking to make sure I had my phone and my keys in my pocket. What are we going to talk about today? Well, I don't know, is the short answer. I've been playing. What have I been playing? Oh my god. Well, do you know what? I've forgotten what I've been playing. That's not a good sign, is it? You know, for someone who does walkie-talkies that are centered on games, for game you're playing isn't a good thing. It's bloody lunacy. Well, I've been playing one of the mod maps in Doom, but that's not been the only thing I've been playing. No, it's gone. There we go. Thanks for watching. I'll check myself into the local asylum. That's a great start, isn't it? You have something in your mind and then it all goes wrong. Oh well. Never mind. Maybe by the time we get to the park, I'll have had an enlightening moment and we can all go away safe in the knowledge that I'm not a complete lunatic. In the meantime, I will see you there. Metroid 4, Metroid Prime 4 even. That's what I've been playing as well. See? Surprised you all there, didn't I? Now, providing I don't cock up the editing, that should follow on nicely from... Dear God, that wind's cold. They should follow on nicely from my walk down the lane intro. Yes. So, I've been enjoying it, but I have got to the part now where you come across the guy. His jibber jabber's already annoying me a bit. I have tried to blow his head clean off, but it didn't work. So I'm hoping this person learns the art of, shall we say, the art of being quiet while I'm thinking. And he better not be one of these people that if I'm doing my own thing, if I want to look at something, he better not be in my ear or going, hey, over here, hey, over here, all the time. Because I swear to God, whoever comes up with that mechanic in a game, they should have their head put between two of the largest speakers in the world and turn them up to 11 and have Norwegian death metal blasted into their bastard ears for the rest of their lives until their head explodes. Seriously, that drives me insane. When I'm playing a game and I want to do a bit of exploration and some absolute see you next Tuesday is giving it plenty down my ear hole about going over there and doing whatever they want me to do. It's a recipe for disaster. I have wasted NPCs before today for doing that, and even though it's given me a game or a fail state in the game, I've taken great pleasure in blowing them clean off the face of the earth for not shutting up. Sometimes games do need to shut up. It's funny. Back in the 80s, when the game had speech in it, a bit of the old digitized speech, it was like, oh wow, check this out, speech. Although most of the time it was like, that's what it sounded like, and you're like, yeah, I don't know what it said, but speech. I've said before in my video that I was talking about RoboCop, the fact that he didn't read out the prime directives, he just goes RoboCop on the RoboCop on the Commodore 64. I was like, yeah, here's the prime directives, read them out, Murphy. And he doesn't. He did on the Spectrum, but he didn't on the Commodore, which was an absolute affront, because the C64 had far better sound capabilities than the Spectrum. So the mere fact that they didn't actually have speech, didn't have him reading out the prime directives, just, well, that was a bad start to a game that went downhill with the various glitches that I've described in a previous video. But yeah, speech was like, whoa, check it out. My computer can talk. And nowadays, It's like, dear God, will you shut the hell up? You're doing my head in. Stop speaking to me. And you know, the one genre I hate it the most is racing games. I don't need anybody to say anything in a racing game. Thank you very much. Holy crap. Gran Turismo, that DLC, every time you start, whether it's a practice session, a qualifier, or a race, every bloody time, this woman comes on telling you, this is what it is. This is a practice session. Here, you can practice. Really? I can practice in the practice session, can I? Holy crap. And here's me, what the hell would I have been doing, hey, if you weren't here to tell me, oh my God, it's the qualifying session. In this session, you need to do as fast a lap as possible to qualify as high as possible for the race. Lord have mercy. Is that what it means? God, I didn't know. And then it's the race. And I'm like, hang on, don't tell me. This is the race, right? This is where I get to race against everybody else and try and finish as high up as possible or win the race. Yep. She reiterates it. Every bastard race. Every bloody session. I mean, yeah, you can skip it, but really. So you have to bash the circle button, I think it is, to get it to shut up. It's like, is there a way I can shut you up permanently? Is that a possibility? Is there a way of getting you to fermer la bouche, as they say in France? Can one stop talking continuously in my ear hole, as they say in no parts of the UK, unless you're faking it like me? Just shut up. Why do they pick? Why is it? And it's like in the Need for Speed games. Do you know the original Need for Speed? I love that game. I managed to go through huge sessions and no one was speaking. And funnily enough, I didn't need. Now you've got some twat in your ear hole every 5 seconds. It's the same with Forza Horizon. Dear God, shut up. Shut up. I've had more crashes in these games caused by rage at somebody whittering on in my ear hole than I would have done if they just shut up. And the really annoying thing is in a lot of these cases, you can't get them to shut up. Sometimes you can. Like in the F1 game, you can turn down the pit stop communications from your race engineer to like essential only. You know, and that basically is your car's on fire. All right. Or box, or box this lap. All righty. Coming into the pits. Yeah, okay. That's essential. I need that. Don't need anything else though. If you don't have that verbosity turned down in that game, then oh my God, the verbal diarrhea that comes out of that guy engineer's mouth is epic. Some of the bullshit he says, and it's wholly inaccurate information as well. It's not even real. He'll say things like, you just pitted and you've got a fresh set of tyres. Oh my God. I think I've just lost feeling in the entire left part of my body with that wind. Lovely. I guess this is the vanguard of the storm coming in. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, you'll just pit. You'll just have stuck a new fresh set of tyres on. And he's telling you that your tyre wear's too high. I'm like, seriously? tyre wear's too high. I've literally just put a fresh set of tyres on this car. How in the wide world of sports is the tyre wear too high? Like, I have literally just exited the pit, so unless you've put a dodgy set of tyres on the car, which they haven't, or unless you've lit the tyres on fire as I was leaving the pits, which they haven't, why is my tyre wear too high? Like, as I'm doing the last lap, or if I've got like 3 laps before the pit, fair enough. If I've done a couple of 3 laps on the new tyres and I'm being too aggressive, fair enough. But bearing in mind you have a pit lane limiter which limits the speed of the car entering and exiting the pits, how can my tyre wear be too high? Anyway, that's just an example. Racing games, shut it. Put a sock in it, for God's sake. It drives me insane. So yeah, I'm like, why? And I say the Forza Horizon one is one of the worst. Mother of God, that never shuts up. I have had to turn the radio off in that game because the DJ, I mean, some of the music I like, but the game has a DJ in it. And the DJ never shuts up. It's like I'm trying to listen to the frigging music. And you're waffling on about some bullshit that nobody cares about. And then you got somebody whittering on about barn finds. And then somebody whittering on about the cars. And then someone whittering on about some bullshit place you drive. And then whittering on about races. And then whittering on about, oh my God, shut up. Holy Christ. Yeah, all this because they put a chatterbox in the new Metroid game. I quite like the Metroid series, where Samus basically doesn't say anything. You know, I'm playing the original Metroid Prime remaster, and it's like, oh, this is wonderful. It's nobody's yakking in my ear all every 5 seconds, and I'm just dreading it with this guy. I'm gonna be like, swear to God, why do these companies think that you need or want somebody in your bleeding ear all the time nagging you? It's like, remember when you play games to get away from that kind of thing? Now they're putting it in games. You know, I was talking about Stardew Valley. There's no speech in that game. If they ever did a version of it and they put voice acting in the game, that might be a deal breaker for me. It's, you know, if you couldn't turn it off, I swear to God, it's like, please don't. Like, I tire of people yakking away in real life. I don't want it in a game. Just keep it to a bare minimum, please. That's all I ask. Oh, God. We need to get to that point again. You know, discretion, that kind of thing. We do need to get back to the age of games, restraint, shut up. Another thing I heard today on just before I come out, I saw that they patented some AI technology that will take over. If you get stuck in a part of a game, you can basically get the AI of that game to do it for you. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I mean, how are you ever going to improve? How are you ever going to improve? How are you ever going to get better? It's not about getting good, but overcoming obstacles in life are what give you satisfaction. And having a degree of resilience mentally to overcome obstacles is a learned process. And that learning can start through playing, through stuff in entertainment. That overcoming that challenge that breeds so much satisfaction is part of the gaming experience. It's one of the addictive qualities. It's the endorphin rush. And I am torn on this whole idea, because at the same time I do understand that people do want to play games and complete them, but this just seems to be like an unnecessary dumbing down. We already have scalable difficulty. We already have that. I mean, in some games, if you play them on the lowest difficulty setting, it's not a challenge. It's not a challenge at all. They're very, very easy to complete. So why do you need to introduce an autopilot for the game? We've seen this to some extent with the Mario Kart. And when I first played, I think it was Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, and I think it was on by default, and I hated it. The game wasn't any fun at all. I couldn't envision a scenario where that would be enjoyable, because I was like, what is wrong with this game? Like, literally all I'm doing is holding down the accelerate button. It had like steering assist and everything like that in the corners, and it's like, what's enjoyable about this? I might as well just be sat there watching the demo of the game. And I had to turn it off in the menu. Went into the menu and it was enabled, but it was by default. I don't know if they patched it out, the default, later on. I mean, I got it when it first come out. And it spoilt it. I mean, first of all, why would that be on by default? Why? Don't get it. So, it should be an option to turn on. I get it, okay, you've got really little kids, like toddlers. But it's like training wheels, isn't it? At what point do you take the training wheels off? I don't know. I'm torn on it. I know it'll be, people say, well, you can just turn it off. But it's there, isn't it? It's one of them things where why are we messing with a winning formula? Challenging games, difficult games, are amongst some of the most beloved games. Look at the Soulsborne games, for example. You know, they're beloved, and their difficulty, their challenge is part of the game. Imagine if you could just press a button and sit back and have your guy beat the bosses. They'd be crap. The fact that there was no alternative, you had to learn and improve. Beating those bosses gives you such an endorphin rush, and that's why you keep playing, because you get that rush and it's addictive. It's an addictive thing. If you remove that, it becomes boring. And the whole thing in life is to improve. You know, we should be always looking to challenge ourselves to get that rush, to face things and overcome them, even in our games. I don't know. I can see where the thought is with this, but I don't think dumbing down to that point is the answer, to be honest. I think it's too far. Difficulty settings are something that's been with us in games for years, and that should be enough. Because believe me, games today are so much easier to complete than they were 30, 40 years ago. They are so much easier to complete. I mean, a lot of games these days don't even have a fail state in them. Like the Soulsborne games, for all of their difficulties, you have unlimited lives. You just keep coming back. You know, you don't run out of lives and it's game over and you have to start all over again. So they're held up there as being these phenomenally difficult games, but they're not really. What it is a test of patience. Go and play Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, you know, where you have 3 lives. And when you die, that's it. You have to start all over again. You can be on the final boss in that game, lose all your lives, have no continues left, and you're starting all the way back at the beginning. And that was just gaming back then. That was what it was. We had no hand holding. You had to learn the game and get better. Get good, if you want to call it that. It wasn't that, it was just improvement. Learning the game, learning the patterns. Pattern recognition. It's a skill that you learn. Problem solving. These are skills that you learn that are essential, you take forward with you in life. Being able to overcome, finding ways to beat bad guys. Those are patterns in the enemy assault. Sometimes you look at it and it's so overwhelming and you're like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. How the hell? It's just like a wall of bullets. But you'll notice there's a little safe area. So the next time you get there, having been absolutely having the enemy boss wiping the floor with you, you get there and you go for that safe spot, and then you see another and another and another. You see the openings, you see the weakness of the enemy, and you exploit it to win. these things are teaching you. And then you get that when you conquer that boss that previously had seemed invincible. The sense of achievement, the endorphin rush, that moment where you just sit back in your chair and you take a deep breath and you've nailed it. And every time then when you come up against that challenge, that boss is easy. Because you know the pattern. You've beaten it. With a lot of these retro game collections, they have rewind buttons, which suck, to be honest, because you just keep rewinding and keep rewinding and keep rewinding until you force victory. You don't earn it, you force it. They have save states because modern day gamers apparently can't sit through the hour or so that it would take to complete a retro game, or a vintage game. I mean, that they weren't very long. They're the same people that can sit there for 12 hours straight playing an Elder Scrolls game, or can live stream for 6 hours or whatever, can't set aside an hour to challenge themselves on a retro game because it's too hard and too frustrating, because there's an unwillingness to learn. So all the while, it's an erosion. It's a decrease in challenge. It's hand-holding. Where's the satisfaction in that? Endorphin rush. You're missing out on experiences. You're missing out on a sense of achievement. You just want it gifted to you on a plate. Where's the satisfaction in that? You've not earned it. The AI did it. The AI completed it for you. You didn't do it. Somebody else did. You are showing that you are inferior to a machine. You're saying that games console is better than you. That PC is better than you. Because you had to lean on it to complete a game because you didn't have the determination to do it yourself. All games are beatable, by the way, apart from Jet Set Willy. It's a joke. But, it's a thing. Well, I mean, they're all beatable, provided, of course, that they don't crash on you. I mean, technical issues aside, you just got to find a way, and that's the challenge. Now, I'm not saying they're going to implement this stuff, because they patent a lot of stuff that never happens. But it's just interesting to me that this is a thing now, and I don't get it. Well, I do get it. I think that's the problem. I do get it. People, I think whether or not it's because they want people to keep playing the games, stay playing the game. But like I say, where's the fun in it? Where's the challenge? And again, people say, well, the option will be there. You don't have to use it. I get that. But people will lean on it if it's there, because that's what people do. That's human nature. That's the nature of a number of people. They will do it. So, like I say, I can see why it's there. I just don't agree with it. I think it will be damaging to games I think that people will not enjoy playing games as much, because I think people like challenge. People like the endorphin rush. I've seen it with live streamers. They're streaming and, you know, they're playing a part of a game and it's really hard and tough and difficult to achieve. And they do it and you see the elation. You'll sit back in the chair and be like, yeah, hands up in the air. Victory, I've done it. And you know, you're sharing that. GG, good game, well done, you nailed it. Well, you can't do that if the AI's done it. You didn't do anything. There's no GG. There's no, you nailed it, you did it. I can tell you, like in some of my Doom videos, because I was doing the playthrough, not a walkthrough, I got no satisfaction in having to put God mode on, because I didn't have the time to be able to do a certain section of the game. I hated it. I hated having to do that. If I was just playing that without doing a playthrough of it, I wouldn't have used it. When I finished Doom, I did it on ultra violence and I just kept playing and playing and playing. Sometimes I got off a level with like 3% health. When I took out the cyber demon, I was one hit away from death. I had like 1% health when I nailed it the first time, because circle strafing was not an easy thing to achieve on a gamepad that didn't have dual analog sticks. The original PlayStation controller didn't have dual analog sticks, so you're using the D-pad to move and to look, and you're using the shoulder buttons to strafe. Whereas today, you're using the left analog stick to move and the right analog stick to strafe. It's a lot more precise, makes aiming easier. But the sense of achievement was immense. So there's the example right there. When I was using it in the ridiculously hard sections, using the God mode, it was dull. And you can see it in my playthrough. You know, you can hear it in my voice. It's just, it wasn't exciting for me. Not in the slightest. But I wouldn't use it if I was just playing. If I was just going through it, I wouldn't be using it. Makes it dull, makes it boring, and it's no fun. It's no satisfaction. But I do understand, like I say, I do understand why people would use it if they just want to get through the game. But I don't think you can claim victory, and I certainly don't think you can say that it was a satisfying experience, because for me, it isn't. It absolutely isn't. So that's my thoughts on this patent. If, like I say, I know why it's there, I just don't think it's a good idea. Anyhow, how are we doing? I think we'll go around a little bit more and we'll head back. do a little bit more, I think. Try and get some steps in. Because like I say, going into the latter half of the week, it's not going to be clear on how the weather's going to be. So the wind's picking up right now. So we'll see. What else? So we've done games not shutting up. We've covered my thoughts on the patent for this AI that allows you to navigate difficult parts of the game. Yeah, I should have actually done them as two separate things, shouldn't I? Kind of covered two top. Mind you, see, the thing is with the voice in games, it's the speech in video games or whatever. The problem with that as well, just to go back to it, there are some games where it is useful. If you're playing an RPG, voice acting's pretty good. But that's not what I'm talking about. You know, it depends on the genre of game. It's always, the context is always important. I just think in certain games, you don't need it. In certain games, it's not required. If they started putting a huge amount of speech in Zelda games, if Link started to become a chatterbox, it would completely ruin the game for me. The fact that he's silent is part of his character. It's the same with Gordon Freeman in the Half-Life games. He never says anything. He's completely silent. So if they did Half-Life 3 and suddenly Gordon Freeman, he's not shutting up, he ruins it. You lose something of that character. So I think it is important. I think that having this stoicism with certain characters and also having silence in certain characters is useful. Doom Guy, we don't really want him being a chatterbox, do we? It would ruin the character. Let everybody else yak away, but, you know, like I say, contextually speaking, you don't want certain characters in the game saying anything. I just don't like it in games that historically have not been chatty, like your Metroid games. I don't like that being introduced. It feels unnecessary. And as I say, I've only just come across that scene, and I'm already kind of dreading it a bit. I'm already thinking this guy's not going to be agreeable. He's going to become annoying, and then that's going to make me stop playing the game, even if I'm enjoying it. The actual game mechanics. He's going to wind me up a bit. I hope not. I hope not. But that's always a risk. So yeah. Take my hood off, I think. Yeah, hood up. It's quite annoying actually trying to talk with the hood up. Over my cap, it sort of pulls everything. It's also like the sound of your voice sort of reverberates inside of the hood as well. Like it's weird. It's weird. Don't like it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But certainly in racing games, I don't need anybody uttering a single word. I remember going back to the Formula One game on the PlayStation, and they had Murray Walker and Martin Brundle talking, and I remember at first it was quite novel and it was quite fun, because it was like you're watching the television broadcast of something, and then it got annoying because they were just repeating the same lines. They were just repeating the same lines over and over again. And yeah, particularly like Martin Brundle keeps saying, "You're right there, Murray." It's like, oh dear God. Like, it's funny. It's a very hard thing to nail, I think, in games. What is the right amount of chatter versus the part where it becomes annoying? Which is, like I say, in racing games, I don't want any chatter, because to me it's just mindless guff. You know, in your football games or your soccer games, that the play-by-play commentary, that's kind of different. Sometimes it can be annoying, but that is something that's actually improved. The early days, there was a lot of repetition, and it wasn't great. It was novel. I think, was it Joe Montana on the Mega Drive sort of introduced that play-by-play thing, and that rapidly became annoying, as it wasn't that, you know, it became repetitious. So yeah, just looking up at them clouds. Actually, I think I'll call it. Head back. It's looking a bit grim over there. It was raining earlier this morning, and as you can see, we had quite a bit of it starting to flood the fields again. So, at the risk of becoming repetitive and annoying myself, if I haven't already, I think we'll call it there for the day. I'll head on back and get this edited and uploaded. Again, rest of the week, going to play it by ear, see what the weather brings. If it's too bad, obviously not going to do it. It's just that time of year. We'll see. We'll see what the weather brings. If it is bad, what I'll do is I'll spend that time and get more of the Doom 2016 playthrough recorded, so I can upload them. I've only got one more video of that. I've uploaded the first part, so I've only got one more recorded video of that, so I need to crack on with that anyway. It was just difficult over Christmas allocating the time to do it. So if it is too bad to come out, I'll do that. But we'll see. For me, the priority is always getting the walks done. That's a thing. So I mean, I will be doing the Doom playthrough, but we'll just see. So I'm going to call it there, and you can getting quite windy again as well. So yeah, I'm going to head off before it gets too bad. So I'll catch you later, and thank you for watching.